Hello, everyone. My name is Danny, and this review is for the movie called Life of the Party. When her husband suddenly dumps her, longtime dedicated housewife Deanna turns regret into reset by going back to college, landing in the same class and school as her daughter, who's not entirely sold on the idea. Plunging headlong into the campus experience, the increasingly outspoken Deanna, now D-Rock, embraces freedom, fun, and frat boys on her own terms, finding her true self in a senior year no one ever expected. This is a 2018 film. It is rated PG-13 and it runs 105 minutes. It stars Melissa McCarthy, Gillian Jacobs, Maya Rudolph, Julie Bowen, Matt Walsh, Molly Gordon, Stephen Root, Jackie Weaver. Yeah, bunch of people. There's a surprise or two along the way, and I won't let that loose. So, I'll start off by saying that I know this movie was in theater. I didn't see it. Saw it on DVD. I enjoy Melissa McCarthy. I think she's done some really cool movies. I think she's done some really unique movies. I think she brings a certain flair to movies that other people just don't really know how to, because she is smart and sometimes funny, and some people just try and go one or the other. Uh, I think Bridesmaids was her best performance ever. I really did like the Happy Time Murders that just was this summer with the Muppets. She puts her foot in some decent projects, like movies that are going to be remembered for a long time. She's done some silly ones like Spy. And I don't know if anybody's ever seen that or not, but this is not one of her best ones. And I am going to lean on the fact that she has done some good movies, and I'm not going to dog this too much, but it's just not her best project. And I think she's done some other great things, and I don't want her just doing a movie to do a movie. And I appreciate her, and I want to keep thinking positively about her. She can get disgusting, and she can do her own little jokes and everything, but I want her to stay true to being genuine and being smart and do some different ideas. The Happy Time Murders was great. This wasn't. Bridesmaids is probably one of the funniest movies ever. Tammy wasn't. So she's kind of up and down, kind of hit and miss. This is totally a miss. I'll just let you know right away. But the things I do have to say is that it's so predictable. It's like terribly, awfully, like grinding on the nerves, kind of predictable. And then the humor is just so dry in this. There's college kids, there's some superstar actors in this that are meant to be college kids or somewhere around there. And, all these friends that are older, you can't really tell how old they really are because they're trying to be something that they're not. And they're having conversations that are just so bland. And they're like calling each other boring and then saying, yeah, that's accurate. It's like, I just don't know what this movie's doing. And then there came a point where I was like listening to the movie and I looked over at it, and what was happening was just hysterical. So there's about two or three times that this movie finally kicks into the hysterical stage, and it really is truly funny. And like I just was like rolling, like it's one of the best like jokes and situations I've ever heard in a movie. So maybe it wanted to be that kind of movie that just waits for the big punch, but that's all it's really got is the big punch at the end. So it was a good punch and it got me, but it's kind of a one trick pony here, and they kind of write out the joke for a while and it stays funny because it's one of the best ones I've ever heard. But that's about all it's got. The only other thing I wanted to say, two more things, I guess, is that this has some nice parts. Like I said, Melissa McCarthy is a decent actress. She knows how to talk. She knows how to handle a serious scene. She knows how to handle a child of hers and how to show concern and how to show love and caring, that she cares for that human being, whether or not it's her real, like daughter or not. It's just that, like, you can tell that she knows how to handle a role. And so everybody around her, you would think would step up their game a little bit, but this movie just was like just so bland. Like everybody was bland. So I don't know what they were hoping to achieve with this, and there wasn't much, to it. The last thing I really did want to say is that, like I said, Melissa has her ups and downs and everything. The conversations that she has with her daughter about this guy named Jack, they just don't ever seem like a conversation that any mother should have with any daughter. And it's just so inappropriate. And I can't imagine mothers and daughters joking with each other like that ever in any situation. It just was hard to listen to because it was so stupid. So there were a couple things here and there that made me not believe Melissa and her daughter, that they would ever, actually like mesh. And some of the lines are just so stupid. So I can't really buy into this movie, except that it was pretty funny. So it's not the worst comedy I've ever seen, but it's a unique story and there's some thoughtful things in it, and it makes it worthwhile. And it has a nice feeling at the end. But most of the characters in here are useless. They're just along for the ride. And they've been kind of with Melissa and some of her other real hits, namely Bridesmaids. So I hate to say, like, Melissa is the female version of Adam Sandler, bringing people along into her future movies, but she's going to be that kind of a person. And this movie, it didn't work. So I'm going to give Life of the Party a C. I can say I've seen it. Maybe you want to say that you've seen it, just so you can kind of keep up with Melissa's career. But she's getting to be a pretty big deal with the last couple movies she's done here, Life of the Party and Happy Time Murders. So keep watching and following if you care for her kind of comedy. I think she's a actually decent actress. I think she's done some really stupid things. But her character in Bridesmaids is always going to tell me that she knows what she's doing and she knows how to carry herself. And so I'll give her movies a watch in the future. I just didn't really care for this one. I don't think it did anything for her. So thanks a lot, guys. My name's Danny. If you like this or any of my other videos, try and give some of them a watch. Like and subscribe to my channel if you would. And enjoy your movies. Thanks.